Alright guys, just to give you one more minute to wait all of you guys come in and also wait for another broadcast link to get online. Let's just hold on a second. Okay, so I need to give you a real brief introduction. My name is Amanda and I'm actually a social media strategist. So I've been started working here on the last 2 weeks, and remember it's almost a month now. So thank you to have given me this opportunity to show, to broadcast myself here online with you guys. Really thank you so much for coming. And yeah, I'm really happy to meet all of you. So bear with me to the next live. So what should I give you is thank you, first of all, again, thank you so much for coming to visit, to check out this live video. I'm really happy about it. Thank you so much. And despite all you guys still be wondering, this is the final hour of the work hour, and then you're gonna prepare for your happy Friday live. Friday hour, happy hour at night, get some drinks. So first of all, if you think I look unattractive, it's okay. If you're busy driving, it's okay. Just put your phone away and listen to what I'm saying right now. So hope my voice not gonna annoy you for the next few minutes. And yeah, I have a confession to make, and it really inspires me to write an article back in my degree, and it's called The Perks of a Flat Cootie. What is it about? It's about my life as a tenant living in UK. I love UK, and I love, UK. Really lovely weather, deadpan grey, it's okay. And all the Victorian stuff, eating scones, having high teas. And I live in Harbour Court. It's a very lovely place. And you walk up there and walk at the back of the street, and you can see Park Street, where you can walk up and have a small cafe. And it's really awesome, because what you're gonna feel is you're going up there, you have a visit, and you're gonna visit this beautiful church at the background where you have your graduation up there. So it's really awesome. And yeah, hi Jerry, you're here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for visiting me. Thank you so much. And yeah, so it's a really nice, lovely place at Park Street, and it's a really nice place to stay in Harbour Court. But is it a really nice place to stay in Harbour Court? So let me tell you about what's the 4 problems that inspired me to write this freaking article. So first of all, the word cleanliness doesn't exist in British people. Don't get me wrong, it's no offense, don't get me wrong, because that word cleanliness never exists in all the university students in British, including some of us, because that word never exists in a dictionary at all. So when you stay in a flat, for me, it's I stay in a flat with a few friends, and it's really awesome to have this flat. I can have a preference that I can stay with my friends, and yeah, and you don't have to worry about staying with a bunch of strangers at all, because if you do, you have a really inner feeling feel, yeah. So if you stay in flats with friends, it's okay, but sometimes you stay longer with your friends, it's not 100% okay. So for that word cleanliness, it doesn't really exist at all. So in the beginning, it's you have to deal with all the dirty dishes, especially dirty dishes, because it's horrible. The first time I went to my other friend's house at Market Gate, in that place, I can tell you, it's a complete war zone. You can tell me, it's a complete war zone where you have to look at there and you have this pile of dishes staring right in front of you, and you have no room to clean, no room to cook your stuff, and the sink is clogged, so you can have a little stench of those last Friday meals you have there, It's not cool at all. They don't even clean it, so it's just like you don't even bother to clean for them at all sometimes. Yeah, and the worst part is they don't wash for weeks. They never wash for weeks. And the second point is you don't even have to bother. You just have to go there and study the last few days of apocalypse there for a few months maybe, and yeah, that's how it happens. The word cleanliness never exists. Second of all, and their rooms. If you visit one of your British friends' room or any other Malaysian friends' rooms, you might not gonna like it at all as well, because when you get in there, the first thing you see is definitely it's a hoarder's paradise. You have to look at it. It's definitely a hoarder's paradise, and you get it down, and you have a look at this pile of mountains of clothing, and it's so awesome. It's like a bunch of clothing and some any weird cheeky toys that you find. It's not. You don't want to know about it because it's really beyond your imagination. And I think that those room inspectors they really got used to it at our so-called cleanliness inspection, because all they went there to see the same results. And one of my friends living in a different unit, she said the room inspector said he thinks the room they deserve an award because their room is really, really clean. Like, it's so, yeah, they never seen it like this before, because they don't even know what exactly, like what they really expect from students like us to come here, and then have to keep our place clean at all times. So first of all, the rules, the cleanliness not there. The second, and the lesson learned is clean your room, clean your unit, and yeah, and you don't have to clean other stuff as well. And second of all is the noise. I know it's a really common issue for all tenants to have to stay there and then have your noise. Like, you have to keep everything in check, so you won't have to disturb the neighbors at all. Because in this case, this is a different case, because we have this little group here. We have this called the Harbor Court community, where you have to say, report that you lost your keys, you lock yourself out, and then in case anyone sees it, they will come over and help you open the door for you. So it's a very useful page, but then sometimes it's the most not really 100% useful page, because when during my studies, I have received three notifications on the same person, or maybe more than one person, saying that, could you please calm down and reduce the noise, because I'm busy studying. Please turn the noise down. But they didn't turn the noise down. They just amp it up. So, it doesn't work at all. And you have like, some of us are really polite enough to stay quiet. I try to stay quiet, and you hear some people yelling like Godzilla up there. Yeah, you'd have a whole war zone up there. It's like a mixture of School of Rock in the 80s version, right up there. And you can't use your broom to bang up, and then you can't even, I have to knock the door. I can't stand it. I have to knock the door. I went up and knocked the door, and they don't treat you really friendly as you really think, because they still have the music going on, and they say like, oh, so what? I can't just party? Yeah, you can party, but at least you just have to keep your voice down, because some of us needs to study, or some of us needs to sleep, because we have to wake up so early. You have to catch the freaking bus, that especially special red bus that you have to go there, and they don't always come. They always come in time. When you want to wait for 8:30, they just drive past at you 8:30. You just have to look at it and just like that. And the third point in this article is called fire alarms. I have a very deep history with issues with fire alarms, because honestly speaking, I'm already immune to fire alarms? Like seriously immune? You want to know why? Because ironically, it's like within that 2 months between October and November, the fire alarms keep spike up around 6 times. Like within a few weeks, it just come out one more, and then a few weeks later, it's just like one more. It's like 2 consecutive months you have 6 false fire alarms, and it all caused by burnt food. And then you can hear, you just imagine yourself having a marathon at the stairs, walking up and down, and walking down again with your friends. They say like, oh, this person burned their Pop-Tarts in their microwave. I burned cake before, okay? I burned cake, and I never triggered a fire alarm. My friend and I burned a cake at 3 a.m. in the morning, and you know what? That cake was rock hot, like a big old charcoal, and the whole oven is full of smoke. And I had to climb up the chair, and I had to hold a big cardboard, and I had to block the fire alarm. And while my friend just had to open slowly the oven door, and I had to open the window, and she had to fan it out as quickly as she can. I deal with fire alarms way more better than you guys, honestly speaking, like seriously. And it's the worst one happens at 2 a.m. in the morning when I have my sleep, and then everyone walked out in our pajamas, and you can see, like, it's like a sea of people. It's like a bunch of Jews walking around walking out from a concentration camp, and you have to see the fire trucks coming here back and forth within these within these 2 months, and then they had to come over and say like, and it's false alarm, burn food. And the one weird case is happened is actually someone triggered a fire alarm because of a deodorant. I don't know how they spray their armpits, but it literally triggered the alarm, and everyone had to walk down the stairs in their pajamas. And one of my most embarrassing situations, the most embarrassing case is I was like, oh, I come out from school, I'm really tired, so it's around like 8 or 9 p.m., so it's really late for someone to shower that night because it's so late. I had to walk up there, and I was like, yes, I have to get a shower. I could just take off my clothes and then just switch on the waters, and I was just shower halfway. The fire alarm triggered in midst of my shower. And I have to freeze on spot. I have to freeze on spot because I can't do anything at all. I have to freeze on spot, and I just look around, and I have the gut feeling. It says like, oh, okay, so it could be another false alarm. So calm down. And in the end, I didn't end up walking down the stairs. Walking right outside the accommodation in my towel because and I had to just wait until it stops, and I had to then I resumed shower afterwards. So this is one of the reasons I got really immune to fire alarms back there, because not just only me, because a lot of us got immune to it, and they prefer to walk down the stairs really slowly because of that afterwards. And for my case, it's like I'm not literally traumatized by it. For now, you can see I have no shame temporarily. I just have to say it to you. So this is a life lesson learned, and never ever shower late night when there's a fire alarm break off. And it happened to me as a life story. And a few weeks later, the history repeats itself. Second time, I got trapped in the toilet again. So don't learn from me. It's bad. It's really bad. And yeah, this is one of the cases of when you're staying as a tenant, living in one accommodation with constant fire alarms breaking off, and then you can see people running back and forth like a bunch of prisoners in the camp, and you have to look at those firefighters looking at you. It's like, what are these people been doing in their flats? Burning their food. It's like you're going to a whole new Hell's Kitchen back then. And yeah, so the fourth point is it's really a good thing to live with your flatmates, but are you sure are they your friends or your foe? Because I have a friend, and she stays a floor up right above me. So we also have analytical course mates, so we studied there, and then she was so frustrated. She sometimes come down to my flat and said, "Oh man, do you know this friend A and friend B? They're on it again because they've been backstabbing each other to her because she's the middle person. She be standing there, like she don't know who to take sides because you know this is a constant thing. They fight over sharing of utensils and like the food stock because one of the friend B, she has the habit of buying a lot of food that she's allergic to. She loves, but she allergic to, and she stock up the big boxes in the common room. So she stack up like big boxes, and you buy so much things because it was so expensive there in UK. You buy so many things, and then you have to withstand this person. To like, she has a lot of stuff like her herbs and spices that doesn't use for like months, and my other friend A, was like so frustrated over that, and then she just complains to my friend, and she doesn't take it really, she doesn't take the stress at all. So she was like ranting about it back down my flat, and everyone's listening. It's like, wow, you have a Malaysian edition of Mean Girls happening right upstairs, but luckily they didn't happen anything about like WWE Royal Rumble, so no fights, so it's okay, no cat fights, nothing is okay. So and it's about consideration. When you have to live with the first person, you as tenant, you have to be considerate of other people because sometimes you have to share some things. You have to ask for their permission, or you want to use some of the things like those dishwasher or like laundry soap. You have to ask for the permission, and you have to be friends with that person instead of them going to be your frenemy for the next few months of your studies. Yeah, and I have another case is that I have this friend who stays in, I don't know, I forgot where that flat is, but that flat is still okay. So hers a different case because she stayed with not her classmates. She stayed with a bunch of strangers, and they have become friends. Like for that few weeks, within that weeks, they became like quick friends. They share each other's secrets. They like total BFFs. So you think of it's really nice BFFs. They have group flat parties. They have she's living her life. She really lives her life. And after the graduation, I have a little stalker on it. So I just check out her Instagram page, I check out her Facebook page. They're still friends there. They still have their photos of each other. They're posting it up. So it's really nice to see because there's no tensions up there. You know, you don't feel tensions up there at all. And one of them even having her wedding, like have a wedding and have my friend invited to her wedding. So it's really awesome there. And she got to live her life to have a really awesome experience, and I really find that's really nice. But in my case, in my flat as a tenant, it never happens. In that never exists in my years of experience as a tenant in the UK. It never is. Yeah, and that's what inspires me to write this article. It's really you don't want to, you might love to read this, but actually it's a really funny case to know because I've been there, stuck in the toilet twice during the fire alarm breakouts, and I have full experience. I survived that year. I really literally survived that year. Thank God. Like literally survived that year, and I don't want to diss about it because I don't want to diss about saying being a tenant is that bad to have, because it honestly speaking, it's a student accommodation, and you live in a different country compared to Malaysia. It's completely different from overseas because we are much more conservative compared to the British, because British, they party while, work hard, play hard, they party while, they have their drinks, getting really crazy about it, and then you know what I mean, right? And you have to wash your shoes at the fountain sometimes because you don't want to step on those puke. You have a puke fest up there. It's really bad, and it's not it's a bad thing. So we have a really helpful community, and even like in British, they have a good community, and we Malaysians have a good community. So I'm not here to diss about it because they have the good, they have the bad. Because even in Malaysia, they have the good side and they have the bad side. And in the moral of this story that inspires me to write this article is that, first of all, don't ever shower late night to get this fire alarm thing happen, because you don't imagine yourselves walking down the street with shower cap on, barefooted, holding a towel, and it's in the middle of winter and it's freaking cold. It's like 4 degrees outside. The second of all is keep your place clean. Keep it clean, real clean. Get yourself an award after that, because even the room inspector will give you an award. They have the best room of the entire flat. Seriously. And third is don't burn your food. Everything's all from the fire alarms. Don't burn your food. And the fourth is be friendly to everybody. Even though they're a bunch of strangers, even though they're crazy British, they're still your friend. They'll stick to you till the end. Next time you go to anywhere, you have to face any racist people talking to you like, hey, you go back to China, go back to whatever you are, wherever you're from. But first of all, Malaysian Chinese are not from China. Okay, so yeah. And that's all for my presentation. Thank you so much. Again, thank you so much for coming and visit. Like, just watch me talking about my life story as a very embarrassing tenant. And I really hope to see you guys next week, because next week I'm going to cover the features of social media and its features. So stay tuned for next week, and I really remember to mark your calendars that every 5 p.m. on Friday 5 p.m. in Malaysia time. In Australia time, that would be 7 p.m. in the evening. So keep in touch, and I'll see you guys next week.